Yo, what's good, everybody? Hello and good afternoon from today's actually kind of a dreary Los Angeles day. I am Joey J. Ping, and we are on the RMR Podcast Network. We've got a very special episode of the Respect My Region podcast today, folks. We've got Connor Lorenz here representing Montana.
Yes,
Billings in the fucking building. Let's go.
yes, sir.
Man, bro, we go back, man. We go back like RMR 2015, 14, 13, 16, all of that whole era a decade ago from the world of music. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for rocking with me and RMR and Mitch. Thank you for loving music. Thank you for being a dope creative person. Connor, it's a pleasure to have you here, bro.
Dude, it's a pleasure to be here. And likewise, man, I appreciate the support I've received from you guys from a distance too for the last, I think you're right, man, 10, 12 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's because this is the most, I mean, what's wild, bro, is this is the most FaceTime we've ever done in terms of, because it's not like you're coming to Seattle and most of the time people from Seattle are going to Montana to go do music stuff or to go do the content that we do. They are their own states, cultures, realms, industries across the board. And it's cool because for you, Connor, you've been able to have your music and your culture, your hustle, your grind, your entrepreneurialism expand beyond music into other areas, man. And that's inspiring. I mean, I see you with the Cannapy merch. Brother, you've launched 2 different businesses outside of cannabis, probably more that I'm not even aware of because that's just your hustle. But we're going to break that down. Are you down to walk us through the journey here today, brother?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, we're 8 businesses deep this year.
Woo! It's
been quite a year. It's been quite a year. Yeah, but ultimately, cannabis is definitely where my passion really lies. Cannabis and entertainment in general. I really enjoy both of those too. So
building communities where it all comes together, right? Cannabis, music, and I don't even know which other businesses are. We'll break down what those ones are here in a little bit. But Connor, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. Montana in the house. Let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? Now, before we go, folks, the episode's brought to you guys by Treez.io. They're our point of sale, our e-commerce, our retail sponsor for all things dispensaries. And then our other partners are Extract Consultants. They're our terpene sponsors. These guys got dispensary. We're talking about dispos today. You guys got 3 locations across Billings, so we're going to talk about that. You guys got Cannapy. You're wearing that. You guys sell liquid diamonds, high potency vapes based on, I won't say fruity flavors, but just cannabis curated flavors. Maybe it's strains, maybe it's flavors. It's your guys' thing. It's Cannapy. I'm here to learn about that mindset. And then that's only 2 businesses. So I'm interested in hearing about the other 6 that are just this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Where do we start? So first segment, powered by Treez Dispensary. You guys have Forever Green. Talk to me about that dispensary chain. You got 3 locations. Where did you come up with the name? How did this come about, Connor?
Yeah, so Forever Green, I actually have been involved with another dispensary brand out here for the last 6 years or so, running an affiliate location for them. Came to the end of that road and kind of had an opportunity to buy my own licenses, and that was when Forever Green kind of became a thing. That was actually just back in May of this year, so very recent that the Forever Green brand has been created. And yeah, left and right, we've been opening locations. We're at 3 locations right now, with goals to have 2 to 3 more. Probably by the end of this year, if not by the end of next year. And so,
is that opening new locations, or are you buying struggling assets and turning them profitable?
A little bit of both. Yeah. And so, in fact, one of my 3 current locations was that where we turned it from another brand, rebranded it, and now we're kind of doing our own thing. The other 2 were, just straight startup locations.
Let's go. Building it. Did you build it out, or did you buy pre-built locations and turn it into something?
Built them out. Yeah, we built them out ourselves, and so bought the real estate, did a full renovation on the real estate. So it was quite the project for our 3rd location, and these next few locations will probably be something similar.
Which do you prefer? Which style? Someone else's bones that you're fixing and saving, or your own bones from the ground up?
I suppose it depends on how my financials are looking at that point in time. Let's
just be honest. Connor, what a great answer, everybody.
If I gotta make the most of something, I will. I do like putting my own touch on things, or having just the kind of flow that my team prefers. So that's why this 3rd location was so beautiful for us, is because we got to completely, create everything, from almost damn near the ground up. I mean, the location that we're at didn't have electricity or plumbing when we moved in, so we had to go like straight ground up damn near on this. So, I would say I probably enjoy that route more though.
Where did you get the experience of doing all that? Obviously, you're an entrepreneur. Have you built other businesses where you had to do real estate and building and contract work? Or talk to me a little bit about what you were doing in the world of entertainment and seemingly real estate and probably a bunch of other stuff, bro.
Yeah, a few other things. Yeah, we've done startups before in the past where we had to do like full build outs from like vanilla shells and whatnot. And then I have a fairly good network of friends of mine that I've just kind of observed them do build outs and whatnot on new locations. And so uh, and I like kind of learning hands on with stuff like that. I feel like that's the best sort of college experience that I could give myself is kind of learning by braille and bumping my head as I go,
Yeah.
so to speak. And so yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and I have a lot of really helpful people on my team when it comes to like contractor work and whatnot, where I'm able to kind of get stuff done on a budget rather than having to really come out of pocket too severely.
Now, most of the people around the country, it's safe to say we don't know much about Montana. There's a number of states that applies to, right? Does anybody know a lot about Iowa, Montana, Indiana?
No.
No, they don't. And Minnesota, similar thing. And we love those places. They all have their own beauty and bring something massive to the country, right? Whether it's economically, culturally, whatever it is, right? For you guys, I don't know anything about Billings. I just know that there's a big college there big in terms of Montana, not necessarily big in terms of the rest of the colleges around the country, the SEC, things like that, right? Where are your locations in Billings? What's the geography like? Is it you got a triangle, you in a circle, you're right on top of each other? What's going on with you guys in
Yeah,
Billings?
kind of a triangle, I would say. We got like a far west end, and then there's like a district or suburb of Billings. It's called Lockwood. It's a small town basically that's attached to the city of Billings. We have a location out there, and then we have a location off the interstate that's kind of like in between the two of them. And so,
Nice.
yeah, different areas of town, just for the convenience aspect for people.
Yeah, I mean, and there's more coming. You said too as well. Are those going to be in Billings, or are they going to be across the state?
We'll probably do one more in Billings. The remainder will be out of town for sure. We have I just recently purchased a location on Flathead Lake, in Lakeside, Montana, that we'll be rebranding to Forever Green here shortly.
Damn, dude! So we get to throw the Forever Green Lake
parties
Festival,
yes,
the party. I'm coming through, man. Montana
yeah, man.
in the building, making big moves. Okay, let's talk about the state of the market. You guys got to deal with MSOs out there, or what? You got multi-state brands. You got MSOs. What's the deal?
So they just started kind of coming in. Up until we went recreational, it was a vertically integrated state where we had to, grow and cook and lab and everything, of our own.
Yeah.
Now there's tons of third party processing and stuff like that that's accessible.
Cool.
I tell my friends and my partners that right now is kind of the era of brands in Montana, because just getting kind of that momentum built behind brands and really establishing, your guys' whatever product you have to offer in the state of Montana right now is kind of the gold rush in a way, where there are definitely a lot
90 days ago I wasn't hearing about this, and now it's a thing.
It's and I shouldn't say that it just started recently. It's been going for like the last probably 2 years or so.
Okay.
I would say day by day it's getting more and more competitive though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who are some of those brands that we might recognize from across the country? Or is there anybody that you know that maybe I know?
Yeah, maybe like Wana gummies.
Oh wow, Wana's
I
in
think
Montana.
Dime Vapes, Dime Industries.
Yep,
I think they have vapes out of
big
state.
Cali presence. Yep.
Yeah, Smokies gummies.
They everywhere, bro. They everywhere, man.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a handful of. I mean, we got cookies stuff up here too.
Cool.
There's all kinds
of the fire, bro. If I want to go smoke, or if I need to go to bed, I'm about to be taken care of. That's what I do. That's all I need. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. And then it's also cool to see, as there's these out of state companies or brands that are coming in, there's obviously a lot of really high quality Montana brands too that are kind of taking off, that are really, in my opinion, giving these out of state brands a really solid run for their money, kind of with the home field advantage. So yeah, it's cool.
Great transition point to switch to your Montana locally state-owned sourced brand, Cannapy, and your liquid diamond cannabis terpene vapes, your liquid diamond botanical terpene vapes. Vapes had their run. Vapes are still booming. They're still running. It's a never-ending runway with vapes, man. Shout out the nicotine world. Shout out the cannabis world. Shout out the rosin. Let's talk about the state of vapes in Montana, and then I know I know historically. I don't know if you still are as of today because everybody gets the leeway to take their own breaks. Maybe I know you were a smoker before.
A little bit.
The state of vapes. Obviously, you think your guys' products are good. Walk me through Cannapy. Tell me about your vapes. Tell me about that brand. What is it? What is it all about?
Yeah, so our top selling are actually we have like distillate botanical kind of candy vapes is really the approach with them. Those are by far our best selling. They're, pretty the price point for them for the consumer is pretty reasonable. But the flavor on them is what keeps people coming back.
Of course.
They're pretty damn
We
popular.
flavor chase, man. Like I don't just buy one type of gum or one type of Gatorade or one type of what is it, the hydration, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I buy all the different flavors, man. And every time there's a seasonal, I buy that too.
Yeah, and so that's what we're actually in the process of transitioning to is 9 like in-house flavors, so 3 sativas, 3 hybrids, 3 indicas, and then 3 seasonal flavors that we run by the quarter. And so, yeah, kind of get to switch it up and make things exciting with that as well. And so, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
We're at 9 current. Do you have what's the seasonal that we're going to be hitting here soon?
I actually have one of our demos right now for we're doing it's like a kind of like a Christmassy apple flavor, and I'm really enjoying, honestly. But that's one of them that we're planning on dropping here come fourth quarter. So
no, I'm sure you can't use this one, but I'll share the game with you. When I used to work for a very large vape company, one of our pop-in products that came in was Applejack seasonally. And it was just the strain, obviously, not the real thing. But it was like an apples and bananas cross, I think, or something like that. But it definitely sold better during the right seasons. And I feel like
I love it.
That the power of the name can go a long way, especially if the flavor comes through and pairs well with that. Do you feel that Montana cannabis consumers, how they talk about these Cali customers, how they're all so difficult and they know weed at a high level. Then you got Washington. We've had weed, or then you got the Oregon heads. Is Montana, do you fit? Does that pair and fit right along with the West Coast?
No, it's a pretty small demographic. Like maybe even 5% of consumers are kind of the
headier ones.
I mean? Yeah, like the more connoisseur aspect of things.
Interesting.
For the most part in Montana, a lot of it's price point. And that's why these like distillate options are so hot out here. I feel like in the bigger markets that are a little more established, after a while distillate kind of becomes the shun.
It never switches away from the top seller. Don't let anybody.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Yeah, because the budget aspect
from the top seller, right?
Yeah, out here, we're just starting to have a lot of great solventless options and stuff like that launched to market, and so those are starting to kind of pick up speed. But yeah, ultimately it's the budget, and it's the fruity or the super sweet or the candy vapes is definitely what's hot out here right now. So
sorry, I had to tell these guys to calm down. It's hard to hear you. We're setting up for another interview podcast. Nice. A great moment for me to hear to switch over to our extract consultant segment here. Terpenes. You're talking about botanical terpenes. You're talking about distillate. We're talking about all these different oils. Why did you guys go with liquid diamonds? Why did you guys go with the terpenes you went with instead of maybe live resin terps or maybe making your own HTEs or something like that? Help me understand the thinking there. Or is it all just price? Is it all just based on liquid?
A lot of it is price. A lot of it is just kind of what we see the market out here going for. What people are preferring and whatnot. And so, rather than overthinking it and trying to come up with a super, special specific product, it's like there's no reason to fix what isn't yet broken. And a lot of these, more budget options or simple products are kind of what's hot in Montana right now.
Absolutely. Pre-rolls, another popular category. Flower, the number one category. You guys had the opportunity, I'm sure, to figure out if you wanted to sell flower with the Cannapy brand and have that be your thing. You went with vapes. Ultimately, what was some of the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so we actually did start. Cannapy was started with an outdoor greenhouse project that we did. That's how we all kind of came together. And our first harvest was phenomenal. Actually, we pre-sold all of our flower like before it even came back from testing and whatnot. So it's kind of cool. But it was more, the scaling aspect with labor and whatnot, we kind of realized that going towards the vape realm of things is just a little bit easier on the labor sense. We still do our greenhouse and whatnot. Most of that, just goes to fresh frozen and
soil to oil, baby.
Ingredients to kind of support Cannapy still,
trim, fresh frozen,
all that good stuff. Yeah.
Hey man, if you guys also too, I went to I learned this I always shared this game with the homies because you never know. If you guys aren't tumbling your stalks and getting all the keef off the stalks, like the main stuff, and using that for cheap shit, that's great. That's great THC for low end edibles. I'll never forget when Fat Panda told me that was an $8 million discovery for them when they welded their own. They just
talk about scale.
They just welded a tumbler, dude. They were just they created like a hog pit, like if you were cooking big, and they just tumbled their stalks on that same kind of thing, and it just all the dust fell off. They used that to make their cheap hard candies, $8 million product line for them, right? Correct. And that was in 2016-17 when I went. I'll never forget.
So now it's even more probably for them.
Of course, because they're growing so much more weed, right? So it's like,
that's crazy.
It's things like that when we talk about operational efficiency, operational excellence, right? Where we really think about maximizing square footage, maximizing opportunities. Between Forever Green and Cannapy, which do you enjoy one more? Because one's retail, one's sales. Like which realm do you find yourself like, oh yeah, man, I could do that. I do this all the time.
They're so different, and it's funny. I was just talking to one of my buddies out here that he's the Montana cookies rep. Cool. We were just talking literally an hour ago about this exact thing, like which is kind of more, which we're into more, the storefront locations or the brands. And I think it's pretty hard to deny the fact that brands are a lot more of a sexier lifestyle.
Yeah, you're traveling, you're visiting people. That's events. I saw you guys participate in the tastings and stuff like that.
Exactly. So cool. I'm definitely having a lot more fun with the Cannapy brand and the other brands that we're in the process of launching right now. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I've been in the brick and mortar dispensary game for 7 years now, 6-7 years now, where I'm like, I still love that and I still have fun. And,
because that's where we get to have the direct impact on people. That's where we really help someone save someone's day or life.
And that's what got me into all this in the first place was the medical aspect. I got in with Montana was strictly medical, and really there was no, near promise of a recreational market.
Yeah, so we're talking back in that 10 years ago era when we were first chatting it up in music, like back then.
Yeah, so it's been cool to see how everything has kind of evolved over the last however many years that I've been in. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of the era of brands now, and it's definitely something that gets me excited every day is helping, to build these brands that we're involved with.
And you're alluding to these other businesses, and now I'm connecting the dots. More brands.
Yeah. So this week, I had a buddy bring me in on a capsule product that a brand that we're launching called Capsule. That'll have, it's kind of a wellness brand, capsules, low dose capsules, high dose capsules, medium dose capsules, sleep capsules, day caps,
all of them. Yeah.
Tinctures and topicals, shit like that. So more wellness aspect. And then the other brand that we're working on right now is called Mellow. It is THC infused Jello shots.
Nice.
And they're pretty hot out here right now. We've just been doing sampling runs and whatnot on them. And they got that really well.
There was an infused Jello shot here in California for a number of years, and I can tell you that when I first bought them, it was like $22 for the 10 pack, and there was a variety pack. Or no, it was like a mango pack, and then like a cherry lime or whatever it was. Okay. I was fucking stoked, and the fact that there was 3 flavors, you're telling me for $60 or $75, I can buy 30 Jello shots with weed in them. That in Cali, right? That was like that's an experience. That is exciting. That's a day at the beach. You know what I mean?
I kind of thought back to all the time. So I purchased a nightclub out here in February earlier this year, and one of our top selling items is Jello shots. And so to me, it was just like, obviously we're crushing it with Jello, alcohol Jello shots. Why not, spin it towards the cannabis realm? And so far so good.
Yeah, hit him with that sativa, man. Hit him with that sativa and that hybrid Jello shots. Give him a little bit of burst, It'd be like
Yeah, man.
it's like a Red Bull and vodka Jello shot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a Baja Blast flavored. Like I'm here. Bro,
Yo,
this
yo,
is
you're
exciting.
name
This is why
dropping.
I love.
So
This is why I love what you're doing, bro. This like, it's just to some of us, it's a no fucking brainer to do this shit. To other people, they complicate it and make it so much more difficult than it needs to be.
yeah, I love that you name dropped the Red Bull and the Baja Blast. Those are like, so with Cannapy, we have our top two selling flavors right now are like a Baja Blast knockoff and a Red Bull knockoff, and those just
Nice.
like absolutely crush. The Baja Blast is like, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how spot on they were able to get the recipe for it, and so
Fire.
needless to say, those go absolutely crazy out here in Montana.
Let's go, man. Let's
Yeah.
go. Okay, so here's some Montana culture shit, bro. Because you out there like that. You've been there. You've been around tons of music fans, tons of cannabis consumers. You've sold millions and millions of dollars worth of weed at this point. All right, so what are Montana people? What's some slang that you guys use for some weed? What's some slang you guys use
Oh,
for some
that's
bullshit?
good. That's good. I mean, I feel like it's like everywhere else, loud or I don't know. Give me something you guys might have out there. I'm sure they all match up
Yeah,
nonetheless.
I mean, okay, so like Doja, right? That's an example of some word.
Okay.
I'm getting smoking on some Doja. Like, obviously, you got Doja Pack, which is a brand now, but like
Yeah.
Doja is some slang, right? Just fire, just that dank,
Yeah, it's a lot of
uh,
fire, dank, loud pack, stuff like that. For me,
that
personally, I call weed pot if I don't know what strain it is. If it's just like if I got just a pop top full of some random buds or whatever, like that's not weed anymore.
yeah,
It's
yeah, you
pot.
got some pot.
Yeah, that's some pot.
That's funny. So we got a little bit of pot culture going on there. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. Now, do you notice that Montana, look, there's two. Obviously, there's you said 5% is the heady, which puts 95% at the normies, right? Let's just
I
call it what it is.
truly, I think it's probably that dramatic. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
I
no,
may be
that's okay.
overreacting a
I
little
mean,
bit, but it's
bro,
pretty mad
there's
like that.
42 million people in California. They don't all smoke weed. You know what I
Valid.
mean?
Yeah.
So, and they're not all smoking fire OG Kush. Not when they're like $8 and $10 eights are available. So here's the question. Two-part question. For the first group, the heady people, what is the trends that you're noticing there? Are they smoking gas? Is it candies? Is it a strain? Is there a trend there that you're noticing in the heady people there in Montana?
So there's been like I mean, I've noticed on the retail side, there's obviously like the whole terp push for the last year or so, where everybody is, oh, I don't look at THC, I care about terps or whatever, which that's cool and stuff. When it comes to concentrates, the solventless is kind of really starting to pick up out here. There's been a couple emerging solventless brands in Montana that are really kind of
Filling that
solidifying them.
void.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're smart for that. It is kind of the future of Montana cannabis, and a lot of us recognize that's where things are kind of headed, is in that direction for the most part.
Now go ahead
Um,
and state the obvious for the normies. High THC, probably.
that's the number one thing out here.
What
It's
about strains? Let's take it a direction we don't know. Is there a strain that you mentioned the normies requesting often? Is there a
so
Montana Silvertip or something or a Kush?
yeah, so stuff like that, like Montana Silvertip goes crazy. I mean, like Donnie Burger and the Triple Burger, and a lot of those burgers
God,
are
those
going really
freaking burger breath
going
crosses. God,
crazy in
they drive me
Montana,
nuts.
which I personally don't enjoy the burger strains,
Mhm.
honestly.
Same.
Which is crazy. But yeah, and then a lot of like classics. I noticed that people really go crazy for the White Widows and the Blue Dreams and
Oh
the Girl Scout
yeah.
cookies, and kind of those household names. Um,
Yeah, we got to change that white widow name to whatever your guys' spiders are there in Montana.
Dude, I don't even. I mean, what are we like?
Wolf,
Wolf spiders?
the wolf
Yeah,
widow.
White Wolf, White Wolf.
Oh, the white wolf widow.
That's
That's
hard.
that's the thing, right? That's the fun part, right? That's what makes Montana unique, right? Washington, Cali, Oregon, Colorado. Everybody has their own genetics, their own breeders. What about some local brands or breeders or anybody in that realm? Who do you have respect for? Who's doing it right out there, bro?
Yeah. So right now, some of my favorite cultivators in the state, uh, Bighorn Buds
Mm,
out of kind of the Bozeman Gallatin area. Collective Elevation, that's the company that I was just with for the last 6 years. I ran their Billings location. They
wow.
have some of the best product out here. Buzz Genetics is real good shit. Double Dog. There's a bunch of them out here, man, that are
No,
really
that's fine.
stepping it up
I
on the scene.
appreciate you sharing some of these. We don't know them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We're
of
not there.
course, yeah,
These
yeah. No,
people that
there's
are watching right now, they don't know who you guys are or who these brands are. I mean, not a lot of people go to Montana that aren't outdoorsy folks.
no, exactly. Well, and contrary to maybe some belief, is I travel a lot, and so I'm able to kind of see. And when I walk into a dispensary in Washington or Oregon or California, whatever, I'm not going for the budget option. I'm asking the bud tender, like, yo, if you really don't like, if you'll spend whatever on whatever, like, what would you get? And that's what I want to get, is the top shelf, the primo, whatever.
Wizard Treez and Alien Labs and Archive.
And so in all reality sense, like, I don't think Montana's too far behind when it comes to like the sense of quality. And I feel like a lot of people would probably alienate Montana just because of it being a small state and whatnot.
We would just assume that they haven't had weed as long, that it's naturally not as good.
And what I've noticed is there's a lot of people that have migrated from California or Washington or Oregon and moved over here, gotten into cultivation. And so they're bringing a lot of that kind of competitive nature up here. And so it's kind of rallied everybody to go harder and whatnot, for sure. Incredible. Like I said, in the brand and product sense, I think we are behind a lot of these rec markets because we haven't had the time to develop these brands and really let them flourish. But in the sense of like, lab work and flower and just actual product, in the sense, like I don't think we're too far off from these top markets.
Man. That's exciting to hear, as somebody who does travel, and for those people that already do, that are there actively seeking out the best of the best, or just good for their price, whatever their price is.
And of course there is budget option stuff out here, and there's tons of folks that's what they're dialed in at, is they're growing a lot of the budget stuff, and they can support the out here it's like $80 to $100 ounces is kind of the budget option in Montana right now. So they can kind of support that realm too, because it's still needed. Yeah.
Now, you've named a bunch of the great brands, some of the people doing it right, rosin, flower, all that kind of stuff. You mentioned some of the multi-state brands, some of these MSOs that are now all over the place. From the Forever Green standpoint, if someone was going to go there, they were going to buy whatever for whatever, and they were going to drop a bag because they wanted to try the best across a variety of categories, what would you say would be the best items they should pick up, including some of the wellness, edibles, beverages, smokes, dabs out there? If you could just hit us with a 5-product order across those categories.
Yeah. So for me right now, obviously vapes, there's not a single other option, in my opinion. When it comes to the flower aspect, I've been leaning towards Bighorn Buds. They got some really phenomenal options. Drinks out here in Montana, I would say Sinful is probably
the Sinful fams, the shooters, right?
Yeah, so we got shooters, and they have the full-size drinks as well, but the shooters definitely go way harder out here.
Nice.
The edible side of things, I really like the Chef J line. It comes out of Granite Peak in Billings, Montana. They got all kinds of great, whether it's gummies or chocolates or baked goods. They're pretty damn hot right now. Pre-rolls, I really enjoy the Groove, or excuse me, not the Groove, the Dubes brand.
Okay.
They have some awesome pre-rolls. And then on the solventless right now, Groove is kind of the solventless, solventless pens and stuff. Yeah.
Let's go, guys. 6 for 6 banger brands across 6 categories, from pre-rolls to solvents to vapes to edibles and a variety of other things too. He basically gave one brand for all the Chef J for all the things. So it's worth checking out, you guys. Recommendation is for you guys to fly into Montana and get your guys' asses over to a Forever Green. Try it all out. Try out the good stuff. And then when you guys are, once you guys get done getting high and hanging out, go out to eat and get your guys' ass over to a motherfucking nightclub. What's the name of the nightclub you got?
Yeah, so it's called Club Lux.
Club Lux, man. I saw you guys got a dope event coming up, right?
We got some cool stuff coming up at Lux. Yeah, it's
hit him. I'm asking for a reason, Connor. Hit him what they got.
So this weekend we actually got Lil Rob and MC Magic in Billings, and so we're doing like a meet and greet, and then like a Latin and Chicano night this Friday night, and then Saturday night we got like a Throwback Hits club night, and then October hits and we go kind of crazy. We have 6 different Halloween events at the club.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Man, bro, Connor, you out here putting on, man, shaping the Montana cannabis scene. You've already helped build the Montana music scene, and here you guys are merging it, building community, providing the education, and sharing your platform with a lot of great brands and a lot of great partners. As I said in the beginning, it's very inspiring to see you do this, to see you continuing on your journey and the different directions that you take it. It's an example to everybody watching that it can be done. If you have a vision, you have a dream, you're creative at all, and you got any kind of work ethic, you guys can do this, but you got to bust your ass. Connor, before I get you out of here, what is some advice you have for people in terms of being disciplined, following through? Because you got so many things. How do you stay on top of all this?
Yeah, so I'm like I feel like everything around me is super momentum based. And so I'm not like super huge on breaks. I'm not super huge on taking time off from projects or we'll get back to this or stuff like that. I'm kind of like a go 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 and continue to push on things. I feel like when it comes to starting a business or creating anything, uh, a lot of the pace is kind of self dictated. So you can move the pace of your growth really as fast or as slow as you permit it to move. And so that's for me, that's definitely a big thing with all of our operations is making sure that it's kind of always pedal on the gas and moving forward and moving upwards.
I think that's very, very unique advice. We hear a lot of the same things over and over from so many people, and momentum is not often heard. It's always, I got to do this to get the momentum, never going with the flow and seeing something through until its completion, right?
Yeah, you create your own momentum. That's for damn sure. And you can also take that too.
Yeah.
In the same way,
It's a time. One of the women I dated, fucking 13 years ago, said, "Timing is everything. Timing is everything.
Damn
And
straight.
momentum, and timing, and hustle and work ethic.
They
A
all
little bit of
align,
luck,
baby.
and
They all align.
they all can
Hell
make
yeah.
some magic things." So I appreciate you, Connor, for joining. Everybody,
Likewise,
be
my
sure to
friend.
reach out, tap in, follow, like, subscribe. Connor, what's the website for them to reach out if they want to place an order or get a hold of you guys there in Montana for Forever
Yeah,
Green?
just forevergreen406.com or any of the Forever Green social medias, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Let's go, man. Montana Cannabis in the house. Music, cannabis, merchandise, nightlife, vapes, liquid diamonds, high potency THC, bunch of fire weed, rosin. Let's go. Montana's in the house, baby. Oh, you guys are here on the map, man. I love it, man. Let's go. Forever Green in the building, Cannapy in the building. My guy Connor Lorenz, tap in. I love you guys. I'm J Ping. Respect my region in the house. Big shout out to our sponsors, Extract Consultants and Treez. Everybody, we'll see you on the next episode.